What's up, guys? Breaking news here on Chicago Bears Now. Montez Sweat has already signed his massive extension with the Chicago Bears. He gets a 4-year, $98 million contract extension from Ryan Poles. We're going to have full details on this signing here on Bears Now. I'm sitting on deck at a ranch at a bachelor party, still bringing you guys this news. So hit that subscribe button if you want Bears news, rumors, and other storylines in real time. Doesn't matter where I am. I'm going to bring you the latest storylines on this football team. Okay, here we go. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Montez Sweat gets locked up by Ryan Poles. Here are the full details. I mentioned 4 years and $98 million. That's 24.5 million per year, just to tick over what Rashawn Gary just got with Green Bay. I thought it would be in that 400 range. That's what it is. 72.5 million guaranteed. So nice payday for Sweat. And look, you don't make that trade if you're Ryan Poles if you're not prepared to commit to him very, very quickly. So I appreciate him getting this done. I appreciate him not penny pinching here, and I think it's a good move for both sides. You look at it from the Bears side of things. There's a reason you're making a trade as a 2-6 football team, because your defensive line and your edge position in particular isn't just bad, it's horrible. It's been one of the worst in the league the past 2 years. Yannick Ngakoue hasn't done a ton. I think bringing in Sweat could maybe help him out. But in the end, you've got to be able to get the quarterback in this league, and Montez Sweat can do that. And he also is an elite run stopper. So I think from the Bears side of things, it's like, okay, we're stopping the run well this year, need to improve the pass rush, but we don't want to hinder our run defense. Sweat can bolster the pass rush, be one of the best run-stopping edges in the NFL, to continue for that to be a strength, but hopefully we can start getting after more quarterbacks too, because we know in this defense, and look, we don't know the long-term prognosis of Matt Eberflus beyond this season, but he wants to get home with 4 as often as possible, and you just do not have the personnel that you need to do that. Now, is just bringing in Montez Sweat going to allow you to drop 7 or 8 consistently and get pressure? Not all the time, but he's going to be able to win occasionally. He's going to be great in the run game, and he's going to draw attention, which is why hopefully guys like Yannick Ngakoue, maybe some of those interior guys like Andrew Billings, who got extended earlier this week, hopefully Trevon Dexter, they can start to win more of their one-on-one. So I'm excited about this. It made sense for the Bears to make the trade. It made even more sense to extend him if once you did make the trade. So that's that. Montez Sweat side. Why is it make sense for him to go ahead and sign this extension? Well, there's risk if you don't. He is in a contract year. What if you go out there against New Orleans and get injured? Well, then your price goes down. I think the Bears would have still paid him, but that price could get reduced. So it makes sense for him for just overall security to get that deal. I think it's a fair deal for him at $24.5 million. He's not in the the Nick Bosa level of pass rusher edge player in this league, so he wasn't going to get 30 plus. I think mid-20s is proper for him. Another reason it made sense from his side of things to get this done now is, let's be honest, the Bears' defensive line does not have as much talent as the one he had in Washington. So, yeah, he believes in himself, and I believe in him, and I think he's going to be productive here, but it's going to be an adjustment going from playing next to Daron Payne, Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, to Yannick Ngakoue, who's a fine player, and Andrew Billings, who's a nice player, and Justin Jones, who's just okay. Like, that's not the same caliber. So, like, it's just smart if you're Sweat to be like, hey, I got $100 million sitting here, 72 guaranteed. Sure, if I play unbelievable the rest of the year, maybe I could get 26, 27 a year, but just sign it, man. Like, I think that's very, very smart on his part. So grade the extension here. Again, 4 years, 98 with 72.5 guaranteed. A, B, C, D, or F. Drop a letter grade down in the comment section right now. Grade the extension for Montez Sweat. Now, I think something worth mentioning in here, well, a couple things. One, he's going to make his debut tomorrow. There was no injury designation, not that he would be injured, but of like still ramping up or something like that. He's going to play against the Saints, so I'll be curious to see, A, how much he plays, B, what it looks like. Does he have that instant impact, even if he's not the one making the plays, but freeing up other guys. So I'm excited to watch that. And then more importantly, big picture, What does Jaylon Johnson think about all this? Jaylon Johnson admitted the other day that it would bother him if the Bears extended Montez Sweat before getting a deal done with him. Well, that's happened now. So, can he put that all to the side, keep playing like a professional, and hopefully get back to the table with Ryan Poles? Hopefully. But he flat out told the media and the public that it would bother him if Sweat got a deal done first, because he feels like he's put in 4 years with this organization, and Montez Sweat hasn't even played a game yet. And he's not even saying that because he's, would be upset with Montez Sweat. I think he's pretty clearly upset with the Bears right now because he feels like he should have a deal done, and that has not happened yet. Now, we don't know the full details. We've heard his side of things. We've heard Ryan Poles' side of things. There's always truth and probably some non-truths to both sides of any story. But what we do know is that they have not been able to agree to terms. And what we also seem to know is that it didn't sound like either party submitted a final contract offer. So maybe Jaylen's motivated to get back to the table soon after the Saints game and try to revisit contract talks, because I just think big picture, you have a stud in Montez Sweat on your defensive line now. You have a pretty good linebacker core, and Jaylon Johnson's a really good piece in the secondary. That's 3 good pieces to start with at all 3 levels of this defense, and you continue to litter pieces around those guys as you continue to build this roster. So I'm hoping they're able to do that. I'm hoping Jaylon and the Bears can figure something out, because I just think this is going to be a better football team if he's here. I think it's going to be a better football team with Montez Sweat here. So I'm excited about Sweat getting his deal. I just hope that things can be salvaged with Jaylon Johnson, because I think he's too good of a player to not be here, if I'm being completely honest. Do you think Jaylon Johnson gets a contract extension before the end of the season? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you don't, maybe it could still happen in the offseason, but man, I'd love to lock him down soon as well. Y for yes and for no. Do you think he gets a deal before the end of the year? All right, guys, it's going to do it for me. Actually, real quick, check out Prize Picks, our daily fantasy sponsor, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Daily fantasy made easy, guys. You can go more, you can go less. That's all it is. You're going more or less on stat projections. For example, I've got a little pick 2 this weekend. DJ Moore, less than 56.5 receiving yards. Him and Tyson Bagent haven't linked up on a ton of big plays yet, so I'm going to go less there. More on Cole Kmet, I believe, at 34.5 receiving yards. That's 10 to win 30. You can win up to 25 times your money with Prize Picks, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS when you sign up to get a deposit match up to $100. Okay, before I get out of here, some final thoughts. I appreciate Ryan Poles recognizing a weakness. I think one thing about Poles that I really like, and I think the jury's still out on if he's the right guy here long term. I like a lot of what he does, but he's missed on some things, so the jury's still out. I like his honesty, though. He looked at this before the trade deadline and was like, we don't get pressure. We do not get pressure, and at the top of this next draft, there aren't a lot of dudes where we could be picking in the top 5. I got to move a day 2 pick to get one of these dudes. Now, people on Twitter are going to sit there and say, well, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, they're set to be free agents. Why not just sign them then? Well, Washington, had they not traded these guys, one of them, I guarantee you, would have been franchise tag. So you still would have had to trade for him under a franchise tag. And 2, the other one of them was always going to get moved. And if he plays well for that team, he's getting extended. How do I know that? Because we just saw it with Montez Sweat. So, yeah, you can say, well, he traded another premium pick, and look, time will tell. We'll see how it is. But I don't view this as a Chase Claypool situation. This is a proven player over 5 years in the NFL who is elite against the run and a very good pass rusher as well. Is he going to be a 15-sack guy here? Probably not. But is he going to generate good pressure and garner attention from opposing offensive coordinators and be like, hey, that's the guy we have to worry about? Yeah, I think he is. And again, you build around this now. You add, you keep adding, and you got to hit on the pieces you do add. So I'm excited to have Montez Sweat here. He seems like a good dude. I was impressed when he spoke to the media on Wednesday. And again, I'm eager to watch him tomorrow against the New Orleans Saints, which Rolly and I will be live for a live watch party. So subscribe and join us for that. Kickoff at noon. We'll be live probably at 10:45 a.m. So do not miss out on our watch party. Speaking of which, who you got? Bears, Saints. Think the Bears can pull it off? Think they're 8.5-point underdogs down in NOLA. It'd be good vibes if in Sweat's first game he had an impact and the Bears won, but we'll see. I had Saints 24-20, but let me know who you guys got in this one. Be sure to subscribe and bear down. Montez Sweat, you are going to be here for a long time, my friend.